Thanks, Ken. Welcome, everyone. Trust me, we've got a beautiful afternoon, so it's warmed up nicely. Thank you for attending. As I always say to my colleagues, and I mean this as sincerely as I can say it, it is genuinely an honor and a privilege for me to do this. Having people come and listen to what I have to say is really an honor to me. I take it really seriously. So I try to come out with some information. A lot of it you already know. Some of it you may or may not know. It might be presented slightly differently. But I spend a lot of time preparing because it's a way of honoring each and every one of you that you take the time to come and listen to me speak. You all have the outline on the app. And the outline, or you should, according to what I was told. I'm talking about tactics in 2019 and beyond, because the game has changed, and it continues to change. If you want to see the most recent changes, always look towards the very, very, very best player in the world. And the one who is being challenged by the most speed, the most diverse shots, and still having success. They're setting a new standard in order to be enormously successful. Who would that person be right now? There's no question it's Novak. And absolutely no disrespect to the women, Novak is dealing with higher speeds. So he's going to improvise early. Very similar with the girls, but when you look at Novak, and the ball's getting back to him very, very quickly at the highest levels of the game. So he's adjusting and adapting, and so there's little windows into what's happening in the game. What are some of the things that you've seen evolve in the last few years? Anyone want to come up with something? Because I got a list here I'm going to crank out real quickly. Anyone with a list of what they see has changed in this past, say, 2 or 3 years? Yes?
Sliding on the hard court?
Sliding on hard court. I don't know how the heck they do it, but they slide. It's amazing. It's impressive. They're obviously very strong. Yes. Anything else that you see? Return to serve. What's different?
How they're able to adapt.
Okay, how they're able to adapt and return to serves. Anything else? Coming up to the net. Absolutely. Anything else? I'm going to go through a list. Okay, right here. Drop shot. Very good point. They use a drop shot as well. I would have used a drop shot, but I had no feel, so that didn't work. Okay, so a couple key points I'm going to zip through. They're taking away time in order to play at high levels. And this is if you're developing juniors. Follow me, because I'm not just talking about world-class players. I am talking about how you teach 10-year-olds. What you want to do is you have to teach them how to play fast without rushing. So they have to be able to take time away from their opponent by taking balls earlier, and they have to be able to, now listen to me on this one. Listen to me on this one. They have to execute with less time while giving themselves more time. Djokovic is the greatest example right now. Because of his quick first move, his early prep, he's able to slow the game down while he's dealing with less time. Pretty impressive. You have to be able to deal with power. It's physically more demanding. Requires, listen up on this one, requires more athleticism. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to talk about tennis-specific athleticism. If you don't have it, you're not very good. And it is at a premium as you go up to all the different levels. Then, in addition, the game is played really aggressively. Yet, it's played at a very high percentage level. there aren't a lot of unforced errors. And so they're playing aggressive yet high percentage tennis. The kids need to learn this. They need to understand the basic principles. Quality power. What the heck do I mean by that? Quality power. Again, you look at Federer, you look at even Naomi, even Kvitova, they're not the most muscular, strong type of individual. They're generating quality power. It's explosive, yet they're under control. All right? And it's done efficiently, it's done effectively. So, now, I get to the next point, and this is a bit of a segue, is the two things. Forehand, controlling the middle of the court. The men used to do that all the time. That's where the women are going. I'm just telling you right now. The days of women hitting backhands in the middle of the court, those are going to diminish. They're going to have forehands which are more similar to the great male forehands, and they're going to control the center of court with their forehand. Finally, bad technique is incredibly unforgiving at the high levels. Bad technique is really limiting to players. And unfortunately, I see a lot of that of some of our aspiring professional players. And it's sad because I see limitations. So, having said that, I'm going to go right to technique that needs to be part of their development in order for them to play tactically at a really high level. At a really high level. That high level doesn't necessarily mean world class. It could mean they get into a great Division III school. I don't know exactly what it means, but I do know this, that if those kids are encumbered with bad mechanics, then they're going to be limited. Now, I've got Quentin over here, and you can, I'm going to keep you on that side. You can go right up against the fence there, it would be great. Okay, so I'm going to go over a few simple things. Number one, I'm going to zip through this really quickly because I'm already behind. Okay, number one, grips. The extreme grips are out. You go Eastern to semi-Western in that range in the forehand. Quentin here and Julian are nice enough to help me. Round of applause for Quentin. He won the tournament here. Good player. And then Julian is nice enough to help me as well. Here he's got a standard. He's got, it looks like a standard Eastern grip to semi-Western. He's got a nice forehand. He's a good athlete. Now, a couple things I want you to look at here. Now, I didn't see him play before this. I watched him play for a couple minutes. I said, okay, good. We've got a good forehand side. Why? A couple things. I haven't explained this to him. Go ahead and take the back foot forehand. One, he gets a beautiful separation. He doesn't know I'm going to do this. See this here? There's a separation angle between his hips and his shoulders in his first move. This is great. Strong kick so I can hit. This is great right here. You understand? Also, if he was really playing, he'd be loading his hips. Another nice thing is notice how this arm is controlling the racket. So he's a beautiful unit turn, and so everything moves athletically. Now, also watch his racket in the back here. Now, he doesn't know I'm going to say all this stuff. Watch where he goes. That is really good. That is, stays on my left side, on the right side of his body. And he doesn't go way back here. He's loading up beautifully. He's getting a lot of power. These are really important concepts. So loading the hips, he prepares, and then he's able to explode. Now there's plenty, and he's got really good racket at speed. That has the potential to be a top world-class forehand. He needs one other thing that I kind of mentioned to him earlier. He tends, and I haven't seen him play, but I'm noticing ever so slightly, he lifts his head a little bit. Please do not think I'm talking about something mundane. Do not think I'm talking about something simple and insignificant. Keeping the head still on the hip, the appropriate length of time in a manner that doesn't limit the stroke and yet facilitates it is an art. Now, two things to remember about this. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But number one, it is key to psychologically being in the optimum state. Show me somebody is here, and I'll show you somebody's in the future, and they ain't gonna hit that ball well, not on a regular basis. So I want the chin. Now, I was joking with him earlier. I said I make things look easy. I'm a highly trained professional. But the head still, and then it comes up. Watch me for a second, and then up. Put this earphone back on. Okay, can you hear me? All right, so I want you to head still, a little longer than normal. Yep, not too long, just for a split second. Yeah, and we still want the shoulders and the hips to release and rotate. And if you look at any slow motion, the best watcher of the ball on the forehand side, on both sides, is better. The Nadal is a close second. The best watcher right there with them on the backhand side, Djokovic. I haven't studied Naomi that well, although she does extremely well. Also Halep is very good, and Serena works on this as well, but not quite as good as some of the top men. All right, so you see there's some basic fundamentals there that are part of it. The other thing is nice contact out front. And then on the backhand, I was explaining this. This is something, this is a little secret, I don't want to get into it too much, but here we go. When they change grips, you want them to really make that adjustment as early as possible. So when they go back as a unit. So you're like this, and you turn and the shoulders go as a unit. This enables you to play at faster speeds. If in fact the racket changing the grip is going on here, this is not engaged. I'm not a biomechanist, so I'm just telling you that's my opinion. So in here, if you go watch super slow of Djokovic or the great backhands, even Nadal, they get from here and they change quickly. And so this is already changed by the time they're here. This engages the shoulders, it slows the game down. Tactically, they can do unbelievable things. They go like this, they're a loaded gun right from here. They can go boom, and that's applicable on return serves, etc., etc. Okay, so enough on the technique. You did pretty well there. Yeah, how about a round of applause for him? I mean, you guys working hard. Did I ever feed you a backhand? Good? Let me go one more. Let's see. Don't let me down now. I mean, just don't let me down. Not bad. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, now, let's, a couple other things. This is important. It's important, it's important, it's important. Serve. He hasn't hit serves, but I'm just going to make it, I'll hit a few easy ones. It's not that, because I'm not really talking about the serve. At a young age, in order for them to play tactically, an emphasis is going to decrease on power, and it's going to increase in terms of accuracy. So players should get to all four corners. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I don't want to get behind. All four, and please listen to me here, because this is not, I mean, okay, all four corners, yeah. No, I'm saying something more specific than that. All four corners without this. I'm left-handed. This is what I usually see. Somebody can go up the tee, I'm left-handed, and then they want to go wide, and they can't hit the normal ones, so they go, and they've got their kick out wide. And that is locked into their game. That can't happen. Young age, you have to teach them the arm action, the ability to go to all four corners. I don't care about the middle of the court, they can learn that anytime. All four corners, boom, 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 with ease, with a little bit of spin, but not a kick, so that they can later on dictate and control in the serve the way it's going. And that is not to hit aces. Aces are a byproduct of a well-placed, well-disguised serve, which keeps somebody guessing, with the primary tactical objective is to set themselves up for the first ball, to play the odds. Now, when you see Djokovic or somebody else or Federer, they're hitting aces, that's what they're doing. And it's the byproduct. It's not like you're saying, oh my gosh, somebody hit an ace. Occasionally they do, but it's more geared with control. All right? And now, I was going to go a little bit into returns, but I'm not going to do that. I will get to that maybe a little bit later. But I will tell you that the things that I talked about with the off the ground, the getting this turn here so that you're loaded up right from here. See, if I go here, now I'm loaded, step out, outside leg, and learning, even at 10 years old, stepping out here, loading this hip, prep, and hitting off of that leg, driving off of it. Why? Well, most of the time they have plenty of time and they can step into it. But you still want them to understand this move. Here, drive and hit, because a lot of times you're going to get that down row. Boom, step, drive, and hit. And if you want to get fancy, you can go boom, step, boom, hit. But they need to learn that early, because the return is a huge tactical shot, and they need to be able to neutralize and attack with that. Now, okay, so now I'm changing things up. For those, how many got the outline online? Just curious. Not many. That's what I thought. Yeah, it's in the app, so I can deviate from it. Most you wouldn't even know. Defining key terminology. Please bear with me here. I've got some names that may sound a little corny to you, but it's not the name that I'm looking for. It's the intent. So, I want you to hit, I'm going to go to the other side. And like I said, I don't put anything in here to waste anybody's time. This is actually a big deal. All right, so Quentin, I want you to hit a ball over there, we're playing, and go ahead and hit a forehand. That's what you call what? What is that called? It's an outright winner. Is it not? Outright winner. I would like to distinguish between that and this. Can you hit the same shot? And let's say I get there, but the quality, no, you would be scared there, you hit a hard shot when I'm there. Oh my goodness, I'm insulted. No, you go ahead and hit aggressive shot, and I'm going to, see, say he hits a great shot, and I'm like that. What is that? Is that an outright winner? Not really. It's a little bit different, and you'll see where I'm going with this. With the terms, with kids, if, let's say, he hits a shot, and I go over here and I'm like this and I miss it, they don't think of it as like, oh wow, I hit like a winner. They don't realize they're eliciting a mistake. They are, in fact, imposing on an error. They are forcing an error. And I think there's a big difference between this, finish off here, I'm going to give you an easy one. He's got an easy ball here, and it's a winner. That's very different than him ripping a quality inside-out ball over here, and it being, I'm sorry, really too much for me to handle. Now, I'm doing that for effect here. Normally I just rip a winner down line, but the thing is, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, I promise. But the point is that what you see the top players doing, and this is Naomi, with the exception of somebody like, well, she's actually kind of adjusting, and the person who's adjusted unbelievably well later in her career, Serena Williams, is they're not trying to hit winners. They're not trying to hit outright winners. Almost no one is trying to hit outright winners. This is an important tactical principle. I am telling you, they're going for big target areas, and they are like, forgive this, but I'm going to do it anyway. They're like if you're boxing, and you're like a great boxer's quickly go boom, 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 boom. They're not going like this. It's under control. It's pounding the poor person until they fall down and they make a mistake. How many watched the Australian Open? What was Djokovic doing to Nadal? He was just pounding him into the ground. He was almost baiting him from boom, 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 boom. It was like a yoga. He was not trying to hit a winner. Occasionally, he fired up and just ripped one. But that's tactically where the game is going. And everything I say here in this talk is connected with something as we go along. So that term, I think you should have two different terms. I think you should have something like forced error, or so it's FE winner, OR winner, something along those lines. But I think there should be a distinction so that the kids on the positive side see, wow, I hit 25 winners. 10 of them were outright, but gosh, 15 of them were forced error winners. Isn't that great? Right now, when you say you forced an error, kids like that. Okay. You tell me they hit. If you tell them they hit, you include the term winner in it, and they get excited. It's very, very important. Okay. Now, all of this affects the tactics. For those of you who do coaches, there's a little sidebar that do presentations, whatever. What really helps me is I put on the top of the page where I want to be at a certain time with the talk, so I don't get too lost. Oh, I got to be here at this time. So that can be helpful. Finishing shot. Okay, finishing shot. This is one of the biggest tactical misnomers that's in the kids. The kids think, here, I can make a lot of money right here on a bet. What I want you to do, you like the forehand, right? I'm here in the corner. I'm an old guy. There we go. So I'm going to hit. I'm going to feed you the ball right where you like it. You hit a winner there, you have no chance to hit a winner. None. I will cover it. I will cover it easily. I won't even have to run hard. Ready? Go. Okay? Now, did I have any problems getting there? The answer is no. You guys are supposed to say, no, Nick, you look lightning fast. Yeah, go ahead. I'll make it easier for you. It's a shorter one. Okay? I'm not really, you see what I mean? I'm not going to try to really hit the ball, but you see I'm very easily. Am I not? So, if we're telling kids, go ahead, this is a finishing shot, 40% of the time, at least if the person guesses or goes, guess what? They're going to get there. Now, I can assure you, this when you give the best players in the world that shot, they're not thinking of finishing. That's like you got the boxer up against the ropes and you say, well, I'm going to finish him. No, you stay under control. You make sure you don't give away the point and you pound them. So you pound it over here. So do the same thing there. I get there, and then I'm in trouble, and then he pounds it again. And I might be in more trouble, and then he pounds it again. Nothing is close to the sideline. There's no flattened out. Earlier, I said to all of you, the ones that are here, I said that Djokovic hit a backhand from back here and hit a rifle shot, backhand winner, and move over a little bit, right? There, Nadal literally was standing there. Djokovic lined up and said, really? Boom. And he hit a rifle shot winner, and Nadal moved one step and was like this. Now, they can light it up. These guys, I mean, if they're joking around, I mean, Federer can hit a forehand from here like a laser. But they don't. How many times do you see them do that? How many times do you see them try to rifle? Because the percentages are not with them. Now, of course, if you go to a local junior event, you see the kids saying, like this from back here, and they say, I can't believe I played so badly, you know? So, the point is, and this all ties into some other things that I want to say, is that the finishing shot is not a finishing shot. The finishing shot is another aggressive punch under control. So, we'll play it out. Seriously. Now, I'm not going to kill myself. I haven't tried to really hit, but here we go. We'll play it out. First of all, I may guess the wrong way. But this is by no means... Yeah, go and rip it. Yeah, you go and rip it. There we go. So see, I guessed the wrong way. So let's assume, for the drill, that you're going to rip it over there. So I'm in here, and I guessed right. If I make the shot, it's not finishing. If he's overplaying it, and he's missing 50% of them, the odds aren't so good. And so what we want, if he pounds it in here, if I don't guess right, it's his point. But the ball's still landing 3-4 feet from the sideline. And the kids need to understand this. So I'm going to get to this a little bit later. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to do some consistency drills. Ready? Okay, so how am I doing, coaches? How's that look? I hear a little sarcasm. I'll tell you what. The point is consistency. I'm being consistent. Guess what this is? You ready? Seriously, this is how it should be categorized. You and I are going to play the point. I just hit it back here, and if I hit anything that sits up, you can go ahead and hit a winner. So we're rallying. This is consistency. I'm being consistent in my match. What do you think that's called? I'm being consistent. I didn't make an error. In my opinion, it's an unforced error. It's an unforced error. When you hit a ball that sits up to the extent, a rallying ball, whatever, whereby it doesn't include the component of neutralizing. Now, if I'm hitting with Quentin, and I'm being consistent, but see there, what I'm doing is I'm at least neutralizing. Now there I'm hitting a little harder, taking it early. Okay, so it's a quality, I like to think it was a quality shot. But it's a quality shot that's consistent, but it's also, the consistency has to be tied with the fact that I'm about to tactically have some objective. You can't aimlessly put a ball in the court, and we don't want kids 10 years old to be thinking that way. We want them to rally and keep the ball in the court, but it has to be tactically purposeful. And they learn that every ball has a tactical objective. They just push a nothing ball, they're playing a match. That point's over. They say, no, that's an error. I wouldn't even want to finish the point. So the consistency, playing with consistency, must include consistency / neutralizing. Because what is consistency without neutralizing? You know what it's called? It's called batting practice against good players. Now, will they win some matches when they're 10? Yeah. Will mom and dad be happy? Yeah. Until they go 14, 15, 16, and they play some kid from Spain or Europe that's going to beat their butt. So, My point is, you've got to have quality in that consistency. So the term has to be adjusted. Okay, unforced errors. Simply put, I'll do the unforced errors. I don't want to screw up the game. Give me a ball. Yeah, there we go. And this is an unforced error. I'm basically on balance and I missed the ball. We understand what that means. Persons not have the ball control, the consistency they need to work on. Here, and I told you I'm tying everything in. The next thing is, we understand the unforced error. That is not where the key of the game is going. It's obvious person misses standard rally, it's an unforced error. But that's not what's happening a lot of the time. If you tie into what I was just saying, where a person is pounding on you with good margins, it's, you know what, a lot of forced errors. And this is, as coaches, where we have to go. Now, if I'm going here, I'll give you an example. Quinton. So if I go like this, you can do it back in. See, I'm being very nice. I'm a reasonable guy. So see, it looks great, huh? Now, Quinton, it's going to get tougher, a lot tougher. Get ready. Yep. So what I'm doing here, aside from being mean, that's a good shot. Now what he's showing you is some good, go him around applause, take a few good shots. But what I'm saying is, you know, if he missed this ball here, this is a blatant unforced error. But if I go like this, he's hitting that well. Do you know what that says? He has pretty good tennis-specific athleticism. That means he's obviously a well-conditioned athlete. He's stable when he's on the move. You know, so he's not falling all over the place. And he's able to handle a quality shot. So when you're seeing a lot of the errors that the kids are making, often, yes, it's the wrong shot. We got that. They're trying to, like if you're behind the baseline, hit way beyond the baseline, try to hit a screamer down the line. You know, it's the wrong shot. Now, you know, he made that one, but you'll see a lot of errors like that. Oh, that's obvious. We know that. But it's not so obvious when, and if he's nervous or something, that can be pretty obvious too. But it's not so obvious when the errors pertain to their athleticism. Tennis-specific athleticism is a term that I coined a while ago. I thought it would catch on more. It should. I say that with humility. It should, because it's one of the most important terms in development that there is. And it's the melding of being athletic, having racket skill, having stability, having conditioning, having speed, being able to hit in a dynamic situation, being able to move at fast speeds and still be under control. That's what a tennis-specific athlete is. The greatest tennis-specific athlete that I've ever seen is Djokovic. Federer is, to me, a close second. Never seen anybody that in a dynamic stress situation can produce a quality ball like Djokovic. And it's really hard to appreciate unless you see him right up close in person. It's remarkable. The single most amazing thing I've ever seen on a tennis court, bar none, was as an Indian Wells, and I'm standing right there on the court, ready to kick Joe for the jaw, and say, hey, you get the court. And so, no, I let him stay if you want to. And watching go like this, and seeing how unbelievable his eyes are in picking up the ball, and how fast his move was, but it looked like it was distortion. The ball, the guy's rifling the serve, and he's like, well, he's got all day. And unbelievable athleticism. This is what we want to build. And in analyzing it, how many of you have kids at third set? They're playing great. You give them, as coaches, you give them great advice to start the third set, right? And they go out there, they start making a lot more errors than they did early on. You ever had that happen? Nobody had that happen? Yeah. And you know what? Maybe it's tactical, maybe it's nerve, but a lot of times their conditioning is failing a little bit. They don't even know it. They're a little unstable. They're a little uncoordinated, and they can't play at faster speeds. Darn it, this has to be integrated into the development process. Not off-court physical development. We're doing tennis-specific development, physical development, without a racket, without a swing, without anything, and then we're over here, we're doing strokes. And we got the two separate. Let me give you the simplest way to develop it. I'm not being cute here. I'm being very, very serious. Okay. Number one is you can simply be a really mean coach and start, look, you're probably not going to get, you warmed up? Okay, you're probably not going to get to these balls. However, I want you to swing, reach, dig together. So if I go like that, yeah, we're just getting started. Yes, now, give me a hand. What are you seeing there? You're seeing somebody's pretty high level, tennis-specific athleticism. Makes it look easy. You watch the kids do that and they're going like this. It's the melding of the shots, the technique, the hand, the feel, along and the swinging and with the stretching. Now, the way in which you develop this faster than any way that I know of is, okay, I'm gonna volley here. So you have to get to everything. All right? Now, so what he's going to do, hopefully I didn't screw that up. He's going to try and get it back to me, and I'll see if I can make it. Yeah, nice get. How's that? Pretty good, huh? Got good speed. Now, if you're watching over here, as opposed to my volleys, I'd like to think they're mesmerizing, but I don't think so. So, if you saw what he did there, this is what it looked like. You know, you have all the footwork, the split, the turning out, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. How many of them, I'm an older guy, okay? I've been playing, believe it or not, 51 years. How many of the older, or let's say more senior, experienced coaches were ever taught how to split step? Not me. I mean, no one ever told me. You know what I did remember is Harry Hopping coming on my court when I was 15 years old in a clinic, and he had a ball and I didn't run for it. He said, bloody run for the ball on my court. And I started running for the ball. But the point is, if you all look at him, do not watch me volley, and you will see some beautiful footwork that he's unaware of that he does. You gotta get to the ball. I don't want to put pressure on you, but you gotta get there. Okay, all the way back. There's no resting here. There we go. Great job, good speed. Now, what did you see there? What did you see? Were you watching there? Some pretty good, pretty darn sophisticated footwork, wasn't it? He has no idea what he's doing there, except he's focusing in on when I hit, because he knows I'm Italian, American, and I might get, irritated if he doesn't get to the ball. So he's saying, I better run. And he did. And so he's splitting and he's going. He's not asking any questions. He's not looking, so I can't get that. Oh, the ball's out. Stand over there 5 feet. Yep, right there. Okay, we don't run for that ball because it's out. Could you move 4 inches over there? Stop, that's going up. But we do run for that one. How ridiculous does that sound? So we got the kids say, well, the ball was out, therefore I don't run. Really? You split and you explode. This is how you get the ability to read. This is how you get the ability, and you reach for the ball and you stretch and you swing. You don't look at it. So if this ball is here, move over here. Yeah. Same distance, isn't it? We don't play by the lines if you want them to be great athletes. You want, they split, they explode, they reach, they stretch. It's old school, I'm sorry, but you know what? They start learning how to split and explode, and they learn intricacies in terms of their footwork. But, how many years do you think he's been doing this? A lot of years. So when I put a ball out there and it goes like this, and he stretches and he's under control, that's tennis-specific athleticism. That enables him to play at really high levels. You take that away, there are too many guys that can just hit a good shot. Does that make sense? So the tennis-specific athleticism is hugely important. Now, I got through that. Not bad, I'm a few minutes behind. Okay. Tactical concepts. Is this making sense, like I'm trying to tie it all in together? Tactical concepts. Number one concept in the game right now. Number one concept. Unless you're going with, and I mean no disrespect, unless you're going with, say, Isner, but I think Isner's game should look more like Anderson. I think Anderson's done a fabulous job in developing and refining his skills. I think Kvitova is another example of it. Net is one of the most profoundly important tactical concepts, because watch how he has to think. If I push you back far, are you going to try to hit a rifle shot, or are you going to peek it a little more? So if I go like this, what are you going to do? Yeah, if I go like this, what are you going to do? It's got to be peaked. Okay? This is good. So I back you up, what are you going to do? Rip it. All of a sudden, now, the benefits of this is far more significant than what you might think. You think, okay, that's nice, that's neat. But guess what else? Guess what else? Psychologically, it's one of the most important concepts in competition you can have. Why? Why would it be so? Did you have Quinn, did you have to focus when I asked you to do that? Yeah, no kidding. What did it do? It pulls them in psychologically into the moment on the hit. Were you thinking about missing at that point? No, can't be. Let me repeat that. You can't be. How many of your kids, follow me now, because like I said, I don't want to waste anybody's time. Okay, it's a great point. It's a short ball. What? Just watch him. All right, this is it. I mean, you know, you've got to make this ball. It's a break point. Now, if you ask him, it's actually good he did that. If you ask him, what he's going to tell you is this, and you correct me, because I'm going to say exact. He started zeroing in on. Were you trying there, or were you tanking?
I'm tanking.
What?
What was the question?
Were you trying to tank on that, or were you trying?
No, I was trying.
Okay, so that's really good, because you need to remember this. I guarantee you, he did not stay focused in on peeking the ball, and in other words, using that net as gauge. At the last moment, he was focused on worried about missing it. Tell me I'm wrong. So that's what happened. How many of you have kids, they got a ball like this, and they miss a ball. Okay, here it is. Drum roll. Julian. Poor guy's been standing there the whole time. Will you give him a round of applause? He's standing there waiting. Here it is, Julian. Feed me one ball, please. Don't screw it up. Now, it's a short ball. Okay, I'm a junior. I come in like this and I go, ah! You know, and I'm missing and I'm so tight, I'm so nervous. How many times do you see that? The ball's right here. Julian, one more. You know, I'm going to win this point. I got it. Sure. Is that not true? Why? Why? Because they're out of the moment. Because they're thinking about winning the point. Because they're thinking about not losing the point. Where do you want them? You want them absorbed in the moment. Right here on the hit. So when they're absorbed in using the net as a gauge right in here, you know, to get the ball to their target. Now, hit this like it means something. I don't want you worried about, I might miss it or whatever. I want you hitting a high quality shot, get it over the net in the court. Yeah, it was nice. I give you a solid B+. One more. Yeah, to me, if I were working with him, I would say, really? That's all you got? Seriously, I can go like that. It's got more racket speed than you got there. No, I mean, I'm serious. Now the little edge is coming out of me here because I'm starting to coach. Yeah, accelerate, for goodness sakes. And if you hit it, yeah, bravo. Give me a round of applause. Okay, how am I doing, Thomas? Oh, my goodness. I'm going to zip real quickly. But you see what I mean? It's a great concept they always have targets where they want to go, but using the net as a gauge, staying right in here, helps facilitate that, and it helps pull them in the moment. It is a wonderful, wonderful way. And you want to know something else? If I said to you, all right, if I said to you, man, I want 10 quality balls, 10, that are ripped and peaked at the net. If I start feeding them, Wimpy, yes. I'm not interested in making you, I'm interested in how well you can hit the ball. You want to be special? Then give me that. Two-guided, hit it. Yes. You see how I pushed you a little bit and it startles you a little bit? You need work on that. You need to be tougher where you stay right in the moment. You execute. That wasn't for you guys, I was just between the two. Okay, now, I'm running out of time. Who said thank goodness? No. Here we go. Now, this concept, I've divided the court up for years. And I'm going to do this in 2 minutes. So, if you see on the other side, you've all seen what Craig is doing. Shaughnessy, dividing the court into fourth. He goes A, B, C, D. I have trouble spelling, so I don't like doing that. And so I go 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason I put a target there is I don't want anything near that line. So I just don't want the line being part of the target. I just don't want it. I want them understanding that they don't go for a line. So I'm going to do this turbocharge. Okay? Gosh, I wanted to get into my punches as we're finding the flow stuff. 1. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Generally speaking, this helps the little munchkins a lot. A lot, a lot. Why? Because when they're 9, 10, 11, 12, they are more focused in on concrete thought process. If this, then I do that. If that, then I do this. So, you tell them, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're behind the baseline, you're going to 2 or 3. So I'm going to feed it. I'm going to push you back behind the baseline. You're going to 2 or 3. Again, you're going 2 or 3. Yes. Now, if you're inside the baseline, you can start going 1 and 4. But that is, I'm not getting on you, but that's an awful shot because the ball should be 3, 4 feet from the sideline. It shouldn't be close.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. Stay in the moment using that as a gauge. Nicely done. All right? So, you have your targets. So, a simple concept of understanding. So, if I hit you short and wide, you're going to have to go number 4 or number 1. So, I go forehand here, short and wide. Yeah, and so he's pulling it out. It can get more complicated than that, but on return of serves, you go 2, 3. Maybe the weaker side. You go more power up the middle. Nobody is deliberately going 1, 4 on a first serve return. If it goes there, they're acting like they were aiming there, but generally they're not doing it. Not at a high level. So this concept is really a neat concept to run with. You start using the net as a gauge. You've got your targets. You start pulling in your targets, where you're going to hit the ball, and all of a sudden you're playing aggressive, high percentage tennis. You're hopefully being guided as a young player with your tennis-specific athleticism by getting these kids to run and explode. One caveat, one thing to jump in. When the kids know where the ball is going, keep in mind, when they know where the ball is going, it has a negative effect on a split step. That doesn't mean you don't use it, but understand very clearly, if they know where the ball is going, any drill, live ball, dead ball, if they know where the ball is going, it damages the split step. Period. You just have to gauge whether it's worth it or not. Anyway, just to kind of summarize, first of all, Julian and Quentin, thank you very much. We wish you really well. Outstanding players. We hope that things get go really well for you. You have a nice career out on the court. As I said before, an amazing privilege for me. It's really beneficial for me to come out because it helps me organize my thoughts. I write a lot, but I don't publish anything. I have enough right now for 3 books, probably 2 or 3 books. At some point I'll get to it. But it's a real privilege, and it is because you know what? I've been a coach now 35 years, and I've been in the tennis business. Well, I've been playing for 51 years, but playing coaching. But this has been my life, and nobody has to tell me that it's not an easy life. Nobody has to tell me it doesn't have real ups and downs. And so I have such great respect, and the fact that you take an hour to listen to what I say, it really means a lot. So thank you very much. God bless you all. Appreciate it.